Hello everyone, welcome back to Mamta Newal tutorial. And guys, in this video we're going to start a new chapter, which is chapter number 6, and the name of the chapter is physical and chemical changes. So guys, in this chapter we will focus about what are the physical changes and what are the chemical changes. With the help of some examples we will figure it out. Okay, first of all, you should understand what are change. Anything, if there is any change in state, shape, size, anything, that means the thing is getting changed. For example, if we are dissolving sugar in water, what happened now? Because of the dissolving sugar into water, now it become the sugar solution. And what is a sugar solution? It is a change, because it do not just represent the water, not even represent the sugar, it is a mixture of it. So that is a kind of a change. Or we can say that the setting of curd, what we do while we make the milk a lukewarm milk, and we add some curd into it and left it over night. Okay, after that in the morning you will see that the whole milk is converted into curd. What is this? This is also a change. Okay, or if we say that the souring of milk in the summer season, if we forgot to keep the milk in the refrigerator, so what we see that after some time or in the morning you can see that the milk start producing some kind of a smell, and the taste of the milk is also different. So what is this? This is kind of a change. Or we can say that, like, stretching the rubber band, if the rubber band is stretched, the what happened, the size of the rubber band get different, and the change in size is also a kind of a change. So can we say that the change, it can be of two type? It can be physical change or it can be a chemical change. It's depend on the substance what we are using. Like for example, if we talk about the physical changes, we have taken a piece of paper and we cut it into four simple squares. Okay, four squares, we get it out. Now we will place this four different squares. Okay, this is the squares which we get from after cutting it. Okay, now we will place it on a table and try to join all these four together. What we get? We will get a paper itself. So is there any change in the property in the paper? No, there is no changement in the property of the paper, because it's still the paper. The size of the paper has been changed, but still the property is remain same. This is also a paper and the combined form is also the paper. Okay, so these kind of examples are of physical change. What else? If we collect some chalk dust, okay, the chalk dust, if we collect that which is lying on the floor, we will take it and mix it with some amount of water and make a paste out of it. What we do, that paste, we will roll that paste in a shape of a chalk itself. Okay, now dry it and let and see what happened after the drying. We what we see, we can recover that chalk again, the chalk which we have used it on the board, and because of that it has produced the chalk dust, and from the chalk dust we again get the chalk itself. Okay, so there is no changement in the property of the chalk, it's still the chalk itself. So these are the examples of the physical changes. What else? Like ice, if we take some cubes of ice in a tumbler, so we put this tumbler into the sun. Okay, because of that sun, because of that heat, the ice will melt and it become water. Now we'll keep that tumbler into the refrigerator, okay, or any freezer. What happened now? That ice will again, that water with that melted water will again become the ice, and there is no difference in the property of this ice and this ice. So there is no such a major difference. Okay, there is no a new substance has not been found or made because of this reaction. So these reactions are the physical reaction. What else? The example, if we boil some water in a container, this is the container and this is the water and we are boiling it, we place some pan over it. Okay, and handle it Now, what happened because of the heat? The vapors start coming out of that beaker or that container, and it will stick on the pan. Okay, so on the pan we can observe some kind of droplets. And what are these droplets? These are the droplets of water which has been evaporated from that container. So the water property is remains same, the water which is present in the container as well as the droplet which we get. Okay, what else example we can take? Like a blade. If we took a blade and it we hold it with some kind of tong to it. Okay, hold it properly and place it under the candle, burning candle. What happened? After some time you can see that the end of the place which is just under the flame, it will become red in color. Okay, and then put it away from that flame. Now after some time put it away from the flame, what you see, the red color will gone again, it will disappear, and it will again take place the original color, what the original color that piece of iron has already placed, or piece of that blade has already have, that original color will again reappear. Okay, so we can say that the properties, like the all the physical properties, what are the physical properties? The properties like shape, size, color, color, okay, or any state, if any state is also changed, all these properties are known as the physical property. And if there is a change in all these properties or any of these property, we can say that it is a physical change. Okay, one thing you need to keep in mind, that in a physical change, the mostly the physical changes are generally they are reversible. Okay, this you should keep in mind before answering any question. Okay, so it is reversible like a paper. If we join that paper, we will get again the same paper. So this is the reversible process. Obviously we can say that it is not it is not directly the too much similar, but the property is almost similar for both the papers. So, and what else? The another thing is that there is no new substance formation take place. No new substance. There is no new substance formed in the physical change. Whenever we are talking about the physical change, it is generally reversible, as well as it do not produce any new substance. So these are the examples of physical changes. If we talk about the chemical changes, okay, the changes which we get from the chemicals. Okay, these are the chemical changes. For example, first is the rusting of iron. Rusting of iron is a chemical change which we can see very often in our day-to-day life. Like the substance, the rust, and the process of rusting is known as that process of formation of rust is known as the rusting process. Okay, but the rust is very much different from the iron. They are not similar, so we cannot say that from that rust we can recover the iron again. No, they are totally different. We cannot take the substance again, or we cannot get the substance again. What else? The example, like if we get a ribbon of magnesium. Okay, you must have seen in the labs there are a lot of ribbons of magnesium present in the labs. If you just clean the tip of that magnesium ribbon with the sandpaper, only the tip, you need to rub it with the sandpaper and it will become clear. Now place a candle near that tip and burn it. Okay, what happened? It will give a bright white light. Okay, and what else? After that, after the burning of that whole process, we will get a powdery ash. Will get a powdery ash into it, and that powdery ash we cannot form the ribbon of magnesium again from that powdery ash. Okay, why? Because the substance has been changed. First we have taken magnesium, this is the Mg, and we have reacted with oxygen. Whenever the magnesium react with the oxygen, it will become magnesium oxide. Magnesium oxide, and the formula of magnesium oxide is MgO. So we have get a new substance into it. It is not similar with the magnesium strips. We have used the magnesium strips in the initial stage, and now we get a new substance. Okay, what happen if we take this magnesium oxide and will mix it with the water? What happen now? It become the magnesium hydroxide. Magnesium hydroxide. Okay, so this is again a new substance. So what are these reaction? If a reaction which is having a if a reaction which get the reaction which will give you a new substance, that is the chemical changes. Okay, all the changes are the chemical one. Like for example, if we take another example like copper sulfate solution. Copper sulfate solution, what is the color of copper sulfate solution? It is blue in color in normally. Now add some drops of dilute sulfuric acid into it. Dilute sulfuric acid into it. What happen if you put some drop into sulfuric acid? It will not change the color. The color will be still the blue color. Okay, now drop some nail or some blade into that solution. Okay, that means we are introducing iron into that solution. Wait for a half an hour and then see the change in the color. Like what you have seen, that the solution has changed the color. Like from the blue it will become green in color now. Okay, why the green color? Because the iron will become iron sulfate, and that iron sulfate is a new solution, and that new substance, and that new substance give a new color which is green in color. Okay, what else? Similarly, in this reaction only we'll get a brown deposit on the iron nail, or a copper on the iron nail. What is this brown substance? It is the copper, and copper is also a new substance for us. So what is this? What if a equation giving us a new substance? So that is known as the chemical changes. Okay, so what we have taken? We have taken the copper sulfate solution. Okay, what is the color of the copper sulfate solution? It is blue in color. Now we have added some iron into it, okay, in the form of blade or in the form of nail. Now what we get? We get iron sulfate. This is the iron sulfate solution, and that iron sulfate solution has changed the color of the solution, complete solution. It has become green in color, and in last we get a copper, which is the brown deposit or brown cover on the nail. So that brown color is the copper. So all these are the new substance which form, and if we form a new substance, that means it is a chemical change. What else we can take? Like in case of, if we take a teaspoon full of vinegar, okay, that teaspoon we have taken about the vinegar. Okay, now we will add some pinch of baking soda into it. Pinch of baking soda in it. Okay, now what happened? What you observe? You observe some kind of hearing sound or hissing sound. Hissing sound, or some kind of bubbles are coming out of that tube in which you have keep the solution. So the bubbles, what are these bubbles? How you can say that which gas is that solution is coming out, or the solution is producing? To know that, we have taken we have made a separate system for it. Okay, a separate experiment we have done. Like this is the airtight container. Here is a straw which join into the other tube. Okay, so this is the solution, which is the vinegar as well as plus baking soda. What happen when we mix the vinegar with the baking soda? It will produce some kind of gas in the form of bubbles, and that gas, because there is no place to escape from that container, it will go from this passage and it will get into this solution. That gas will pass through this solution, and this solution is a lime water solution. So what happened when carbon dioxide combine with a lime water? That water will now convert itself into a milky color. Okay, the change of the color of that water is now it is now milky in color. That's why we can say that it will produce the carbon dioxide, and whenever the carbon dioxide come in contact with the lime water, it will change the lime water into milky in color. Okay, what is the reaction behind it? Like if we take the vinegar, we have taken the vinegar, this is the vinegar plus we have added baking soda to it. What is the vinegar? Vinegar is the acetic acid and baking soda is the sodium hydrocarbonate. If we combine both of them, what it will give us a carbon dioxide and some other substance. This is important, carbon dioxide. How we can prove it? With this experiment we can easily say that this is the carbon dioxide. Okay, when the carbon dioxide combined with the lime water, okay, what is the formula of lime water? It is CaOH2. So this is the formula lime water. Whenever the carbon dioxide combined with the lime water, it will produce calcium carbonate. Okay, it will produce calcium carbonate plus some amount of water, which is H2O. So this is what the reaction, and we have used different kind of substance and we get a new substance into it. So whenever there is a change, or we can say that there is formation of a new substance into any change, that is known as the new substance, that is known as the chemical changes. Okay, it is very easy to understand what are the chemical changes and what are the physical changes. So physical changes do not contain any new substance, it will do not form any new substance, but in chemical change you must have seen that there is some new substance will form. Okay, what are the chemical changes or substance we can see in our daily lives? Like in digestion, in the digestion of the food we require lots of chemical, and the combination of those chemical will help us to get the nutrition from that food particle. Okay, and what is the ripening of fruit? Whenever the fruit is not ripe, if we require to ripe that food, we can use some kind of a chemicals, and that will also make the fruit a different fruit. Okay, or we can say that the grapes fermentation is also a chemical change. Like after the fermentation, the grapes will convert into wine or some kind of other alcohol, which is a new substance as we compare to the grapes. So if a new substance is forming, that means it is a chemical change. Okay, sometime we still get confused from the which is the chemical changes. So if you get any of these property in any of the reactions, so you can say directly, you can say that these are the chemical change. Okay, so if a solution or if a substance producing heat, light, or any other radiation, if it is producing any other radiation as well as if it is absorbing any of this heat, light, or radiation, that means that change is known as the chemical change. Okay, or it is producing any kind of a sound. Okay, produce any kind of sound, then we can say that it is also a chemical change. It can produce or change the smell of that object or that substance. If the smell is changed, then we can also say that this is also a chemical. Or Change, what we can say, change in color. If there is a change in color, that means it is a chemical change. If it is producing any kind of gas, still we can say that this is a chemical change. So what the property we require to understand a chemical change? If it is producing any light or heat or radiation, then we can say that chemical. If it is producing sound, or it have changed any smell or color, or it produce any kind of a gas, these are the examples of chemical changes. For example, the burning process. What is this? Burning process is a chemical change because it produce heat. Okay. Second example is explosion. Whenever we heard about the explosion, what we can see? We can see heat which is emitting out of that explosion, as well as the light, sound, the unpleasant gas also we can say. So what are these are the property of chemical changes. So chemical change produce all these things. So these are the chemical changes. What else? Like spoiled food. Is a spoiled food is a physical change? No, it is a chemical change because it changed the smell of that food. Okay, now the smell, that food starts smelling like a foul. So the smell is not good for us. Now if we slice a apple, what you see, after some time you will see a change in color of that slice. So what is this? This is also a chemical change. Or we can say that if we talking about the neutralization, whenever there is a neutralization process is a chemical change, because we are using acid plus base into it, and these combination of acid and base, we are getting a different substance which is called salt, and which is neutral. So a new substance is forming. That's why we are saying that it is a chemical change. Now there is an interesting example also, like about the ozone layer. Okay, is that the working of the ozone layer is a chemical or physical change? The examiner can even ask this question. So what is the ozone layer? It is a protective shield. It is a protective shield in our atmosphere, which protect us from the ultraviolet radiation which come from the sun. Okay, then the ozone will absorb all these ultraviolet radiation and break down into the oxygen, and this is how it works. So the absorption of radiation is also a property of a chemical change. So we can say that the formation or working of ozone is also a chemical change. Okay, so this is very clear. Now what is the rusting of iron? What is this? Is it a chemical or physical? Like we can say that rusting is very much different from iron. So obviously we can say that it is a chemical change. What happened in the equation? Like if we take the iron plus we add some oxygen to it, or the iron will get the oxygen from the surrounding as well as some amount of water into it. What it become? It will become rust. Okay, what is the rust is the iron oxide, and iron oxide is very much different from the normal iron. So this is the iron oxide, and this is the iron which we have taken the initial stage. So they are different. The new substance has been formed, and because of that we can say that it is a chemical change. If we require to prevent our iron, okay, we prevent our iron from the rusting, what we can do? We can apply some kind of a coat, like paint coat, okay, or a grease coat on our iron substance. Okay, what else? Like if we deposit a layer of metal on that iron, it will also help. Which metal? Like chromium. If we deposit chromium, a layer of chromium on the surface of that iron, then the iron will get rid of that rust. Okay, or it will not get any rust in the future. Okay, what else in except from this, we can also add some zinc, or we can give a coating of zinc on the iron, and the coating of zinc is known as the galvanization. So galvanization, it is a process of depositing layer of zinc on the iron. Okay, the pipes which we have used in our normally in our house, what are they are the galvanized pipe. That's why they do not get rust, because it is very much contact in houses. They are very much contact with the water plus oxygen, and whenever the iron come contact with the water and iron, it will start producing rusting. So to prevent it, they have already galvanized it. The galvanize is the process when we deposit zinc over the iron substance. Okay, so this is how we prevent. Or if rusting will occur in the ship, okay, it is very much chances of getting a rust on the ship, because it is totally, or most of the time, it is contacted with the water as well as salt. So it is very crucial to save the ship from the rusting process. So we require different kind of substance to prevent it. One important thing is the stainless steel. Okay, the stainless steel is also a very good example, because it contain a mixture of iron, carbon, some kind of metals like chromium, nickel, chromium, nickel, and magnesium. Okay, any of these they can use, and by mixing of all these things, we will get a stainless steel which do not do not form a rust. Okay, so it never get a rust. That's why we use stainless steel in most of our things which is more contact with the water as well as air. Okay, the last point in this chapter is the crystallization. What is the crystallization process? Normally, when we get we get salt from the seawater. How we obtain salt from seawater? Normally, we made some pit in the soil, or in the place where we have trapped some amount of sea water into it, and that sea water contains salt as well as the water. Because of the heat of the sun, all the water get evaporated, and the salt will remain in that pit, and we will get the salt from that portion. Okay, so what is this? What is the formation of salt? Is the crystallization. The process is known as the crystallization, and always keep in mind, crystallization is always physical in nature. Physical change. Okay, the change is physical. Now if we take another example, if we take a beaker, and in that beaker we will take water into it. Now add some dilute, some or few drops of dilute sulfuric acid into it. Okay, do not need to change anything, just take some water and add some or few amount of dilute sulfuric acid into it. Now heat that water. Okay, before the boiling, or we can say that just boiling started, when the boiling gets started, we will add some copper sulfate powder into it. Copper sulfate powder into that solution. Okay, now we will slowly add and continuously stirring that solution, and what we get in the last, there is a time when no more copper sulfate powder can be dissolved in that solution. So now take that solution, filter that solution, and keep it in on a cool place. Okay, now after some time you can see that there is some crystals can be observed, and these crystals are the copper sulfate crystals. Copper sulfate crystal. So what is this? We have used powder, which is the copper sulfate powder, and what we get copper sulfate crystal. So that's why, because there is no different substance form in this change, that's why we are calling it as a physical change, not the chemical change. So this is all in this chapter, guys. I hope you have understood all the concept. If you have still left with any doubt, please ask me in the comment box, and if you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up, and if you like my videos, then give me a subscribe my channel. And thank you guys for watching this video.